Good morning, good morning. Welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show, where we go through all the trending stories that everyone in Dubai is talking about. Today, a man has been arrested for throwing a bottle from a balcony in JBR and seriously injuring someone. Can you believe it?
And UAE residents are being advised to get the COVID-19 booster shot.
A Dubai dog shelter is closing its doors because they do not have the funds to continue.
And Emirates will now operate daily flights into Johannesburg.
But first of all, before we get into it all, look who we have in the studio today. Shahir, thank you so much for joining us. It's Friday. Woo! What a great way to start your weekend by joining the show.
Last minute, just the way I like it. You know me, doing well under pressure.
Can you hear the shade? Working on a Friday, how does it feel?
Honestly, I'm trying to readjust because I only just got adjusted to having the Thursdays be the last day. But I don't know, I felt like back in England, it always felt like the week went by faster. I don't know if this is because this is the first week back, that it feels a bit longer.
It is the first week of January.
It's weird. It's really weird. How do you feel?
I'm really struggling to adjust.
Same.
I booked events for Friday night thinking it was Thursday. I'm putting things in calendars for Sunday, and people are like, we're not working Sunday. I'm like, I know you don't work Sunday, but it's hard. I've been here 8 years and I'd fully adjusted. I also felt like we had a shorter week because I started my week on Sunday. And then the Western world caught up. So by the time we got to Thursday, it was our weekend.
Oh my God. That's good for me because I can video call all my friends now at the same time. You know, people won't be at work.
That's true. The bigger picture is weekend-wise, it works better.
100%. And like traveling places and being able to coordinate stuff with people around the world, it just works out better in that sense.
True.
But I still don't know what day it is for the most part.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Tuesday, it could be Wednesday. I don't even know. I wonder how long it's going to take to adjust to that.
I don't think it will take long. I think it's just like we need a few weeks and then we're good to go.
A few weeks. I'm just not great with dates.
I'm just not great with time management in general. And knowing
I don't want to say.
Wow.
On that note, let's jump into our top story. We're talking, of course, as usual, all the trending stories in the UAE. And later in the show, we have a great interview with Nikita, who's talking about her very inspirational weight loss journey. So stay tuned for that. But first, a man has been arrested for throwing a bottle from a balcony and seriously injuring someone. This happened in JBR, and we're shook by the stupidity. A man who threw a bottle from a balcony and in the process managed to seriously injure someone has been arrested. The Director of Criminal Investigation Department, that's the CID, said the Dubai Police Command and Control Centres, they had received an emergency call from a GCC national who suffered serious injuries on his head after he was hit by an empty bottle that was thrown from a building in the JBR area.
He explained that investigators were able to identify the offender despite the lack of evidence by utilizing the latest artificial intelligence technology available at the Dubai Police Criminal Data Analysis Center. Police remind members of the public to report negative phenomena, violators, and suspicious activities via Police Eye Service, which is available on Dubai Police official website. That's www.dubaipolice.gov.ae, and the Dubai Police Smart app.
So that story is just, I think we're shook.
Why is the question you start off with. Why would you think that's a good idea? Who throws stuff off balconies? I get is it called vertigo?
Yeah.
Just looking down, I can't look outside my balcony for the most part. And to throw something, like, it's super selfish. It's super insensitive, super careless. You never know who's down there.
You could kill someone.
You could hurt someone, and due to gravity and the velocity.
You could kill someone. Isn't it like from a certain height?
Yeah.
You've always been told, like, whenever you get to like the top of, you know, when I was younger, you know, if you're going to the Eiffel Tower, like, don't go up with a penny and throw it off, because for some reason we were always told that because that penny, but because of the force of something,
It's the velocity and gravity.
I don't know. That you could seriously injure someone and kill them, and you're always shocked because you're like, well, how is this dirham going to do that? So you could kill someone. But what I was really interested in this story is that the CID were able to identify the person using their technologies. So the fingerprint was on the bottle, went down to the ground. They were able to, I guess, gather the pieces and find the person, which is just mind-blowing.
So Dubai. Like, always at the top of the game. they'll get you.
Well,
They
exactly,
will
they'll
get you.
Do not, like, the seriousness of this story is, like, the fact that someone suffered serious injuries, so our thoughts and prayers are with them, but someone could be killed.
100%.
So it's just a reminder, it happened in JBR, not a smart thing.
Moving on, so...
We're going to jump into our next story. We're talking all things booster shots and the fact that we definitely need them.
Yeah, so basically the public is urged to get the booster shot jab 6 months after their second dose if they're eligible to do so. For those above the age of 50 and people with chronic diseases, they've been advised to take the booster shot 3 months after their second dose. Individuals aged 18 and above will be eligible to receive the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine 6 months after taking the second dose.
And the MOHAP spokesperson, who's Dr. Al-Gahithi, he is assured that the UAE's health sector is continuing its drive to achieve immunity by administering vaccines to eligible categories, and noted that 100% of the eligible population have taken their first dose, which is just huge. Phenomenal effort by the UAE. We're so lucky to be here, to have access to the vaccines, and the fact that they're encouraging you to get the booster, that it's available, is phenomenal. So go out and get it. I still need to book mine, so I need to do that.
Same. Booking that today, actually.
Good. Well, actually, I have been on the Al Husn app, and when I tried that, I didn't look too extensively, but the places near me were full. So I was like, I'll come back. But I do know that when that happens, because that happened the first time I got my vaccine, that it doesn't necessarily mean, because you can see all the times and dates. So then you fast forward a month and you still can't find a slot. But actually what happens is every now and then they just release a whole new, it's like a new batch arrives.
Yeah.
So you keep on checking and then you'll get your vaccine. And as we know, cases are rising around the world. It's a smart thing to do.
It is, because you get the first 2 doses and they are effective against the virus, but after a while the strength of it does decrease, so that's why the booster shot's necessary, just to keep you and the people around you safe.
100%.
But just be aware of how often you need to do it from the time you get your second vaccine, and different shots have different time spans of their effectivity, so just be aware of that.
100%. Before we move on to our story, I just want to jump into a comment which I'm not going to read out because it's hearsay and we don't have proof, but someone is talking about the why the bottle was thrown from the balcony. We do not have the proof, it's in the comments. I'm just going to say we're going to move on. This is a story that I think has kind of broken hearts. We saw it shared across Instagram. We shared it ourselves yesterday. A Dubai dog shelter is closing its doors because they don't have the funds to continue. It's really, really heartbreaking. So in an Instagram post, Furball's Dogs announced the sad closure. They shared that the last 2 years have been a challenge due to financial reasons. They lost their vet rates, or their rescue rates at the vet, so the costs rose. They lost their credit opportunities, so they needed to pay for everything on the spot, which if you know anything to do with animals, bills are very, very pricey. So that was obviously not ideal, and they also lost a main member of their team. So due to all these reasons, they've had to shut down. They also said they only have one person taking care of 18 animals, and they said it's simply not enough.
They said we have around 18 dogs at the shelter and one handler who isn't doing such a good job, and we cannot afford another. Having one person do everything isn't doable at all. Animals are falling sick and some are being neglected, not intentionally, but it's just all too much for one person to manage. The post continues to say that it's unfair for the standards to fall, unfair to let the animals suffer, but their ultimate goal is to let all of the dogs at the shelter go into long-term foster home, and they're working hard to find them homes. And how can we help, Casey?
Can you help? First of all, the response on this story was phenomenal. We shared it on Facebook, Twitter, and so many of you were like, how can we help? Some of the amazing comments were saying, can we start a fundraiser? But I think the main thing that you can do is they need to find forever homes. Their main goal is to find shorter long-term stays for these doggos. They share the photos of the doggos.
I know. Oh. So cute.
I was sitting on the couch yesterday, when you're tired.
And you're scrolling through Instagram, looking at everything that comes across your way?
No, I was just reading the story, and then I went through so basically they shared all the stats of each dog.
Yeah. Oh.
And it was basically just that they're all amazing. But the most important thing is if you can provide a long-term home. And make sure that, you know, I've seen so many great people suggest we can give homes, but make sure that you actually can give homes, because these dogs have already been through enough. They don't need more temporary solutions, they need permanent solutions. So the outpouring of help is incredible. But let's find these dogs forever homes.
And make sure I don't know if we spoke about this, but a third of people that get a pet as a Christmas gift, did we speak about this?
I've heard some, I don't know the exact stats, but don't say a third. That's horrific.
I know, it's heartbreaking. They get gifted pets and they can't afford to keep these pets at home, whether it's due to timing or financial reasons. So just be aware that if you do want to help and you do want to adopt a dog, that you're fully capable. If it's you and living with someone else, you can literally split the time. There's many ways to work around it and make it feasible for you, your partner, your family members to have a pet at home.
I have a rescue.
Good old Goosey.
Goosey, are you watching?
Miss you, Goose.
Mommy misses you.
I've never met Goose.
You've never met Goose?
But in the new office next week, can Goose come?
I've asked if our new office, well, I said two things. I was like, is there going to be a doggy daycare and a creche? And I was like, well, which would be easier?
How about both? Let's go.
Both. I'd love Goose to come and tour the new office, because, you know, she has a sniffer's nose, so she'll make sure that everything's in order. She's an anxious little doggo because of her past, but she does her best. She's adorable.
Goosies. Moving on to our last story, Emirates will now operate its daily passenger flights into Johannesburg, although due to current travel restrictions, they will not be carrying outbound passengers from Johannesburg. Moreover, until further notice, Emirates passengers' operations to and from Durban and Cape Town remain suspended. Customers affected by the flight cancellation can simply hold on to their Emirates tickets, and when flights resume, get in touch with a travel agent or the booking office to make new travel plans. And the airline did issue an apology statement for any inconveniences that have been caused.
It's just tricky. I mean, it's great that you're able to get there. So if you have family there and there's emergency reasons, still tricky to get back. And as we know that there's Emirates have banned flights for a short period from 13 African nations. That was the information that we shared yesterday. So a tricky travel time. I think right now, in the last couple of weeks, because of so much confusion, if possible, I would suggest stay put.
Agreed. It's all just a matter of time before things do go back to normal. It's about being, again, safe and being aware of what needs to be done in order for things to go back to normal and just for us to readjust into what once was. Things are cyclical at this point, so it's always going to be up and down. And
exactly.
It's just a matter of time, guys. So literally, do stay put, stay safe, and be sure you're doing everything you can to make things easier for yourself and the people around you. And sooner rather than later,
what can we do? We can travel anywhere again?
Literally, all shall be well.
Do you promise?
Yep, that's a pinky promise.
Okay.
I thought you were gonna... Things will go back to normal.
Okay, so Shahir's pinky promise that things are going to be back to normal, and we're starting 2022.
Yes.
I needed positivity. I needed that. So when is it going to happen?
I'm glad. You know what?
Do you have a date?
I don't, but let's just do everything we can to reassure that everyone is safe. And before you know it, where do you want to go? The Maldives? I'll take you there.
Anywhere. No, I'm watching really old episodes of Below Deck at the moment. It's a cruising show, and they're in Tahiti, and I've never seen anything as beautiful, so I want to go there.
I've never seen the show. I've heard of it. I've heard of all the drama.
But on the note of spreading positivity, we have an amazing interview coming with you right now, and Nikita has shared her incredible weight loss journey, and it's a great story to start the new year. So bear with us. We'll be with you in about, I'm not sure.
1 minute.
Very soon.
Okay. Really soon.
And welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. Creating and setting goals can be an intimate and personal thing, but our guest today has been on a fitness journey like no other. A brilliant inspirational story to start the new year. Welcome to the show, Nikita Phulwani.
Thank you so much for having me here and that amazing intro.
Not at all. But your day has not just started. You just informed me that you've been up since 5:30 gymming it.
Yes, I usually train, like I said, at 5:30 a.m. on Yeah, for 4 days out of the week.
What makes that happen? What can I take to get me out of bed? Because if you're training at 5:30, that means you need to be up at
4:30.
early o'clock.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, to be honest with you, because if you spoke to me a year ago, I would be like, girl, let's get home at 5:30, not like, leave home or whatever it is. But I don't know, I just think, there's been a huge shift in, how I live my life and what I think about it. But I think I want to get to the gym at 5:30 a.m. because I want the rest of the day to myself. And I don't think there is a better feeling than starting a day with a kick-ass workout and
Amazing.
So
I love that. I love that positivity. I really do. Before we get into your journey and the positivity and kind of the great reaction that you're getting, first of all, tell us a little bit about you so we can learn more.
Sure. So my name's Nikita. I'm a Dubai kid. I'm born and brought up here. I've gone to university here, school here. I'm an entrepreneur. I run, an agency which is within influencer marketing, social media, and PR. Cool. And on the side, I have a page, where I talk about all things life and, share my day-to-day, my family, what works for me, what doesn't, my lows, my highs, and all of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Amazing. And just now you said that you used to get home at 5:30.
Right.
And now you get up at 4:30 to go to the gym. How did that shift happen? Have you always been into fitness?
No, I have been anything but into fitness. So to give you a bit of a background, I've always been a chubby kid, right? And that has not stopped me by, thankfully, that never stopped me. I've always been on the heavier side or whatever it is. So when I was in school, all my girls were super skinny and stuff, and I was always, slightly the bigger one or whatever it is. And my life was all about, living life king size. In fact, I used to be a plus size blogger. My agenda was, and it always is, and it still will be, that to, really embrace yourself at whatever weight it is that you are. But my entire page was about, speaking about plus size fashion. While there's that aspect, but my lifestyle, based on what you asked me, was all about do what you want. Who cares about the body? What's fitness? I don't think I looked at the gym maybe 2-3 times in my life or whatever it is. Eating whatever came my way was my, there was no consciousness. There was no awareness. There was no consciousness. There was no respect, kind of to your body, to this thing that takes you everywhere. So yeah, that used to be me. And I remember, I don't know, how you get archives on Instagram and stuff. And this, story popped up from about 2 years ago where I was complaining, oh my God, I wish I can make it to this breakfast meeting I have at 11 a.m. And I'm like, 11 a.m. was early for me. I don't know who I was. So waking up early was not a thing. Going, I would probably go to bed at 5 a.m. You know what I mean? So there was no sense of, no discipline. Let's just say that.
And what was the moment then? The moment that it was okay, now maybe I need to start looking at fitness, or now I will start talking about my journey. What was the moment that kind of changed it for you?
To be honest, there was no moment. And like I said, I used to be a plus size blogger, and I was extremely comfortable with how I used to look. To the extent that, I was a size 18, and then I went to a size 20, and then a size 22, and my mom's like any other mom, she's babe, what's going on? I'm like, Mom, you don't understand. I'm a plus size blogger. Okay, this is my thing. So my point is, I got really, really comfortable. Mm-hmm. But while there's weight gain, there's also obviously the health that gets affected. Yeah. And I think it was through lockdown. Again, through lockdown, I was living my life. It was a everyday ritual to, have maybe McDonald's for breakfast or for lunch. And then 5:30 p.m. I'd get this acai bowl. But I was like, oh my God, I'm having an acai bowl. But I would have Nutella and peanut butter. Who was I, kidding? I think I was living in denial or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. But what happened through lockdown is my clothes just stopped fitting me the way they used to. I used to be someone who used to post every day, a look. But I just stopped posting pictures because, I just wasn't liking what I'm seeing. And I still remember, and I've spoken about this on my page, I went to a dinner with 2 of my friends, and I sat on the chair, and I remember not fitting, and I know during lockdown we didn't travel, but before that, the seat belt, of the flight, it wouldn't go, or for example, if I ever had to, tie strappy shoes, I'd be like, Mama, can you please help me? I couldn't.
So your life was impacted.
Yeah, so I feel and then, but I was also hey, this is who I am, and I know a lot of girls who are on the bigger side but don't feel confident, but I wasn't like that. It didn't matter to me, I would still be on the stage, I'd still be, in front of the camera talking and, whatever it is. So that's why I think, but then those smaller triggers, that kept, kind of happening. And I was like, oh wow, I think it is affecting me or something like that. Even then, it's not like I did anything about it or whatever it is. How I got into fitness is it's funny. I got a message and I saw this message and I'm like, okay, why is this extremely fit person messaging me? Like, I had nothing to do with fitness. I wouldn't consume fitness content. I didn't care about. These things were alien to me. I didn't care. And then all of a sudden I get this and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, like a DM or something?
Yeah, like a DM, and it's my trainer, it's Yasser, and I was like, okay, he's like, I think
This is Yasser Khan?
Yeah, Yasser Khan. Yeah, I know you guys have had him on the show.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's also currently working on the amazing transformation of Khalid. We all are. Yeah, exactly. And then he's like, I'm this fitness expert, and do you think we could work together, whatever it is. And I had heard of him obviously because of friends and friends of friends had kind of transformed. But again, I didn't care. Losing weight was never an agenda. Being healthy was never an agenda. I would still be living in denial to the extent that I wouldn't go to the doctors because I know they're going to ask me to stand on the scale and then they're going to tell me you're too big, and I don't want to listen to that. That was negativity to me. You know what I mean? So even if I would be like, oh, listen, I have this issue. No, it's fine. It'll get sorted on its own. I'm not going to the doctors, And then I was extremely nervous. Obviously, I still remember my first meeting with him. I think I entered the gym and I was so intimidated by everyone that I saw. I think I cried. But I don't know what it is that I know. What it is that he does. It was that day and it's today. I think I'm on my 300th session. Amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And obviously the discipline, waking up at 5:30 did not come on day one. No way at all. I refuted this process. I think I've made him a more patient person because I literally argued with him about everything. Like, you don't know what you're doing. I still remember it was like my day 6 and he's like, one day you'll wake up at 4 and you'll be at the gym at 5. I'm like, you know what? You don't know who I am, but you will realize that you and I will, kind of be returning home at 5 a.m., from the best party or whatever it is. He's like,
that was on day 4 or 5?
That was on day 4 or 5. Because I was literally, I'm not even kidding, I was alien to this world. Like, these things were not a priority to me. This was not something I wanted, whatever it is. Little did I know that I would be, kind of hit by this bug so badly that today I actually have a tattoo of a dumbbell.
No, you don't. Let's see. Oh my days. Amazing.
Yeah, I know.
This is like so many people watching now, no matter where they are in their journey, but they want to be bit by that bug.
Right.
So when did you, can you describe when the turning point was for you that you maybe started to feel a difference?
Yeah. So I don't think there was one turning point, but I think, I started seeing results.
Amazing.
Thank you. I started seeing results. In my first month, I lost 8 kgs. Yeah. But I stuck to the plan. And obviously he made sure I stuck to the plan. I don't know what it was, but I stuck to the plan. And then when I saw the results, I liked them. And then that became my high. I was like, oh, okay. Oh, I can do this. I can do this. Oh, I can do this. And it just kept going. And then, I just started enjoying the process. I would say maybe 6 months in is when I actually started enjoying my process. I still remember. So one thing that Yasser makes all his clients do that I swear I had never heard of before is he makes people do up to 90 minutes cardio. This is apart from the 60-minute training session, yeah? So when I started, maybe after 2 or 3 weeks, my routine was 60 minutes training followed by 90 minutes cardio.
What does 90 minutes cardio look like? Are we talking 90 minutes running?
It's up to you. So he would be like, okay, do 60 minutes treadmill and maybe the elliptical for another 30 or whatever it is. But I would cheat. I would do 30 to 45 minutes treadmill and then another 30 minutes elliptical, and then I would be on the cycle so I could use my phone. But hey, it's cardio, and then and then obviously I got more responsible with it. But so that so it'd be 90 minutes and all that. So I hated cardio. I would get upset, get angry, upload these stories where, oh my god, that cardio is the worst thing in the world. Right now, my cardio time is my time. I have my headphones. I love my music.
That's the switch that we need.
Yeah, but I think it didn't come on day one. So I'm not going to be oh my god, I was the best version of myself. No way at all. I have literally argued through the process or whatever, but I've fallen in love with the process as well. And I think what I'm proud of is the fact that I stayed committed to it. And I think, you know, bit by bit, every day, staying committed to it is, you know, probably what has gotten me closer, or like, I love this. So for example, initially I used to train at, I think 9 or 10 a.m. and then it went to 8 a.m. and then I was like, I can't do this. I was late to every session. And then for the longest time, I was the biggest advocate of training in the evening. And then I'm like, no, this is not working out. And now, last week, I had to train in the evening. And I was just so out of body, you know, because in the morning I had a commitment or whatever it is. I was like, I'm never doing this again. I'm only going to train in the morning. Morning training is not the best. So like, for me also, to see this huge shift is sometimes shocking. But I think it's, you know, kind of that consistently kind of going at it and, you know, seeing the results helped. And then I just started, you know, I think respecting my body a lot more, you know. So I think all of that has helped.
I think it was very helpful to hear that it wasn't just like you switched and you became.
No way.
But also what's amazing is that you shared your journey, which is it's a challenging thing to do, I think, because you're kind of putting yourself up for the mercy of Instagram, the mercy of Twitter, whatever it might be. So what kind of, is it kind of, it flowed on from being a blogger that you just started sharing naturally, or did you have to, no?
So, I still remember, it is my day one, and Yasser is like, let me take a video of you. I'm like, no way, no way. Are you looking at me like I'm ready to go puke? You know what I mean? First day, I didn't let. Second day. Third day is like, let me just take a video of you. Just, I promise you, you know what? Just let me take it and upload it. And I did. And I look like I'm going to
upload it to your account?
Yeah, like he's like, let me just take it and whatever. And I looked at the video, I still remember. And I was like, you know what? Let me just upload it. The feedback I got from people was insane. There was just so much love. They're like, oh my God, look at her, look at what she's doing. Go, Nikki, you can do this, you know, whatever it is. Because bear in mind, I had never spoken about fitness. I didn't know a thing about it. And, you know, I was all about like, yeah, do what you want. I would, you know, talk about the best cakes in the world. And I'm not saying cakes are bad. I love cakes. But, you know, my agenda was very different. So I didn't even know how people are reacting. Why are they reacting like that? And then, you know, I just felt like people got hooked onto it. And then I was like, you know what, I want to share it. Because before I knew it, people started messaging me, oh my God, Nikki, looking at you, I did my cardio today. Nice. And you know, even now, like, it's amazing. If not every week, every other week, I would get this message from someone in Canada or someone here or someone in India, whatever it is. Nikki, look, I lost 5 kgs, you know, looking at your gym. Yeah, like it's insane. And I feel like, wow, like I would share, and that's why, like, you know, even the level of fitness content that I started sharing, be it my workouts or the fact that I'm going into my cardio, whatever it is, I just started that because I was like, if it's making this kind of an impact, why not? Like, why not, you know?
And have, for example, your food choice changed? Because you said that during COVID, you had this like routine of McDonald's at this time and your acai bowl that was acai bowl topped with lots of stuff. Has it changed?
Absolutely, absolutely. Obviously, a huge part of the weight loss was sticking to the diet. And I'm a very social person. I have a huge family, very typically Indian and stuff like that. And like, I still remember my first 3 months, we would be at the, you know, at like functions or whatever it is, and people would have the best ice creams and the best desserts, and I'd be like, no, nothing. Now, for instance, so I'd say for the first 3 months, because the 4th month was December, when I started my journey, I was like so religious with my plan. Like, I only cheated when my trainer allowed me to, like nothing, no off even by like 1 almond, you know what I mean? Yeah. But now, for instance, obviously, like, I mean, life, I mean, you need to have, you know, here and there a little bit, everyone has cravings and stuff like that. So obviously now I'm conscious. So for example, if I've had a really heavy meal, you know, the previous day, even if it's a Thursday, Friday morning, you'll see me at the gym doing my cardio. Not this Friday because now the work is such, but before, like when Friday was a holiday. So if Thursday I've had like a, you know, or like when I know Friday I'm going to go for brunch, you'll see me at 8 a.m. in the morning doing my cardio. I'm like, I'm going to burn this. Even now, for instance, I was in New York, in December, I traveled for a friend's wedding. And I knew, I mean, you're in New York, how can you not eat? You know, you don't have the bagels and the pizzas or whatever. You know, me and my sister.
Part of the experience.
Exactly.
Anywhere you travel.
Yeah, right? Exactly. But me and my sister, we actually made sure that we find, you know, workouts in the city and actually go work out. So I came back from New York with even like, not even 500 grams heavier.
That's amazing. And the fact that you did it with your sister, do you, throughout this whole journey, have like a support system that was helping you? Or people that you turn to that you, like, if you're struggling, You're not in touch with Yasser, or is it it's like a solo mission?
So I would say that initially, definitely, Yasser was an extremely, driving force with all this. Like I would literally say that he's held my hand through it. I'm not even kidding, because I was alien to all this, like literally.
Massive shout out to Yasser.
Yeah, massive shout out to Yasser for sure. And he really has instilled these values in me, with consistent kind of, brainwashing or whatever it is. Obviously, it helps that, my sister, it's, she who took the initiative and, booking these, these things and stuff like that. My sister herself has lost about 30 kgs. So she's also been on this journey, and definitely it helps, because she'll be like, do you really want to eat that? And I'll be like, and I'll tell her, do you really want to eat that?
You're helping each other.
Yeah, for sure. But for me, also another very important force has to be my Instagram family. And I know it sounds very cliche, Instagram family, but no, really. Sometimes these DMs that I get, I'll be like, guys, I can't stop eating this cookie. I don't know what's wrong with me. Why do I want this cookie? And then it'll be like, no, Nikki, no, you can't do this. You worked really hard, please. And I'm like, you know what? I think I needed you in my life. You know what I mean?
So we're all sitting there at home in the evening, and there's something there, and you're like, don't eat it, don't eat it. So you get onto Instagram and you're like, I don't eat it. And then Instagram's like, don't eat it.
I was like, thank you. I needed that. I needed that. And also, I think, my team at work, I tell them, guys, this month, no, we have to lose 5 kgs. So if I ever order anything, don't let me. And then I'll be like, guys, do you think I want to, that? They'll be like, no, you don't need it. So I feel like also because I've shared the journey so much, which was a natural process, to be honest with you. It just came. I thought people got hooked on, and then I kept sharing, and then, I feel like you won't believe it. I was in New York. Like I said, I was at a friend's wedding, and I was just, kind of grabbing something to drink or whatever it is. And someone comes up to me, do you think Yasser will allow that? I'm like, no way. I was like, not all the way. These miles away. I was like, please. No, obviously, she would follow me because, she was a family friend or whatever it is. I'm like, not here, please, not here. But my point is,
Yasser, you have people all over the world.
Watching your clients, you know what I mean? So I'm just like, stop.
Oh my days, it's amazing.
Yeah, but then I'm like, okay.
You're nowhere safe.
Nowhere safe. But then I put it up on my own. I'm like, listen, there's no point in, who am I lying to? You know what I mean? I'll be like, guys, I'm eating cake. Like, I can't help it.
Well, that's amazing, because you're showing that, we all have to break sometime. You can't follow this totally strict diet, and you have to have the cookies as long as you're, like you said, you're still doing your 8 a.m.
I'd say initially though, obviously, because, I lost about 42 kilos in 7 months, but that's because I was on point, like nothing could shake me. I'm telling you, till I didn't finish my 90 minutes cardio, even if I had to shut the gym and leave, like that would be me. So it was really on point. And like I said, the results really, really helped. I was like, okay, I'm doing so well. Why should I? It doesn't matter. It's okay. I've eaten all my life. It's fine. And then not only that, dropping the weight is one thing, but there's so much more that gets affected. And I actually have created a lot of content about things you can't see, that people can see that you have lost weight, you're wearing different clothes or whatever it is. But when I see my parents proud, they're happy that I'm living a healthier life, I'm more disciplined, I sleep on time, I wake up on time for the most part. For instance, my productivity, I feel, has gone up. And unfortunately, fortunately, the world is superficial, and stuff like that. But the way, someone even looks at you, that also makes a difference. And, the way I carry myself, the way I think about life, how I want to prioritize my time. So many things have affected. And like I said, tying the shoelace or like the seat belt, or, where I used to stay before, the gap between the car and the pillar would be there. So there was a time when I wouldn't fit into the car, with the way I used to park. So now I'm like, okay, I can fit from anywhere, you know what I mean? So it's like these little things, Or for example, like I had so much fat on my hands, I could never see my veins. And now when I see my veins, I'm like, guys, I can see my veins.
Amazing. And I love all this, like your parents proud, and productivity is improved, and mornings are slightly easier than they used to be.
For sure.
An insanely positive story, and one that I think we should all be following. Can we follow you? Where can we follow you?
You can follow me on my Instagram. I go by the name Niggi Phulwani, so that's NIGGIPHULWANI.
Love your personality, love your positivity, love your spirit. Thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you for having me here. Thank you.
More people need to see these stories, right? Because it gives people at home the inspiration.
Yeah, hopefully.
Guys, that is it for us. And Shahir, he's getting inspiration too. Guys, that is it for us on the Lovin Dubai show. We're back with you every single weekday morning, same time, same place. Stay safe and wash your hands. Bye-bye.